Hi, welcome to another tale from the Magic Story Cauldron. This one is one from Armenia and it's called The Mocker Mocked. Once, a long time ago, there was a king who lived in a country far away to the east. This king had a habit of sitting on his balcony at the end of the day when all his work of state was done. He would watch his subjects as they passed by, listening to them talk about their day and their problems and the way they felt about this and that. In this way, the king knew what his people thought about the issues of the time and about their ruler. One day it happened the king was sitting on his balcony when he saw the most unusual of sights. Scurrying along the road was a little old woman. She was misshapen and bent over. Her face was twisted and covered in warts, and it seemed as if she had a permanent sneer. Kind of like that. The king could not believe his eyes. "I've never seen anything so hideous," he called out for all to hear. "That old crone is by far the most repulsive creature I have ever seen. Is it a cave or a hollow log that she calls home?" And he laughed and laughed so hard that the old woman could not help but hear him. But she walked on, paying him no heed. The king began to notice her more and more often, and each time he saw her, his taunts and mocking became more and more unkind and cruel. One day, after the king had laughed and jeered more than usual, the old woman stopped. She looked up at the king and slowly and deliberately spoke to him. "Laugh if you will, laugh if you must, but mark my words, I will have the last laugh." And with that, she walked away. Now, the king didn't know it, and neither do you, but I will tell you that this old crone was actually a witch. And one of her special powers was the ability to change her form into anything she wanted. She took thousands of shapes. Some as beautiful as the shape seen by the king was ugly. And the king didn't stop his mocking of the old woman, and one day he went too far. The witch decided it was time to teach him a lesson. The next morning, she changed her shape into that of a lovely young woman, and she went to see the queen. When she was in the queen's chambers, she fell to her knees and spoke, "Oh, my queen, I'm just a poor young widow, and I need to provide for my young children. Please take me into your service. I will work hard each day to please you and to feed and clothe my children." Now, the queen was a beautiful woman, both in her face and in her soul. And when she heard the story of the young widow, she was moved. She told the young woman that she could work as a maid and that she should return the next day to help the queen at her bath. The next day, the old witch, still disguised, of course, accompanied the queen to the bathhouse. As the witch began to comb the queen's long, beautiful hair, a change took place. The queen herself began to change into a grotesque beast. Her hair became matted and smelly, her breath turned foul, and her body was quickly covered in coarse hair and running sores. And when the queen looked into the mirror, she screamed, "My husband! My husband! Come quickly!" At her words, the witch simply vanished. The king came running and was horrified to see his beautiful wife was now more hideous than any creature he had ever seen. "What happened? What happened, my love?" he cried. The king told him of the young woman who had asked for work. As the comb she was holding passed through my hair, I was changed. Find her, make her change me back. Please, please, I beg you. Well, the king didn't know which way to turn, where to look, or who to ask for help. Soldiers were sent to look through the city, but there were many young women. How would they ever find her? The old crone now was back in her home. She was weighing up the lesson that she was giving. When would be the time for her next step? The queen was a good woman and should not suffer because of her husband's thoughtlessness. Now was the time. The old crone walked to the palace and asked to be admitted. The guards, when they saw the old creature, would not let her enter. "Away with you, old hag! Find someone else to bother. Our king has enough on his mind." The king heard the commotion and called out his window, ordering the guards to bring the old woman to him. When they were alone in the throne room, she spoke. "Your Majesty, I am the old woman that you always laugh at from your balcony, and I am the young woman who changed your queen. How does it feel now to be mocked? Are you still laughing?" "Old woman," said the king, "give me back my queen. I will give you your weight in gold. I will give you a fine palace. I will give you power and position. Anything you want." The witch laughed. "Why do you laugh, old woman?" "Because, as I said, it's my turn. Bring your wife to me, and I will change her back, not for your sake, but for hers. Next time you see someone whose appearance or manner is different from your own, perhaps you will treat them kindly." The queen was brought into the room, and the old witch touched her hair. The queen returned to her former shape and was beautiful once again. The old woman again vanished. From that day, the king was a different man. It seemed he looked at all people in a different light, no matter their differences, no matter their faults, treating each person with fairness and respect. So may we all learn that lesson. So, the Armenian tale of the mocker mocked. See you again soon, I hope, for another tale from the Magic Story Cauldron. And if you like this one, do give it the thumbs up like. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.